Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin this lesson by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. I'm back with another lesson, and I'll entitle this lesson, Acknowledge Him in all thy ways, and He shall direct thy paths. Something along those lines. Because I was reading some precepts, and I was just meditating, and I wanted to do a lesson on this. Because in your day-to-day life, the things you go through, the hell you catch, the blessings you receive, it was all preordained by the Lord. And everything you have, whether it's your job, your family, your house, the Lord provided for you. So you got to remember to always give thanks, because our situation could be a lot worse. We could be a 2/3 in the world, but instead He directed us to this truth. And that's the greatest blessing that any man can receive, because we have the opportunity to receive salvation and to escape the coming calamities and plagues that are quickly approaching. Look at that hurricane in Jamaica. Hey, that's straight judgment from the Lord. That's the Lord's wrath. So let's get Proverbs 3:5. It reads, Trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. So yeah, I was just meditating, and I like to count my blessings, man. Cause I caught way more hell in my earlier, my childhood, growing up, broken home. But I needed that. I needed to experience that to humble myself. And through the Spirit, I realized that, I went through the stuff I went through because I needed to humble myself, because I come from a very proud, narcissistic family. I'm the black sheep, so to speak. How they say you're the black sheep? Well, hey, I'm the black sheep of my family, and that's a good thing, because I went through what I went through, and that humbled me, and it led me to this truth. The most precious thing in my life is this truth. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So now that I'm in this truth, going hard for the Lord, doing this work, I just constantly just praying to the Lord, Baba Kashai, Heavenly Father, give me the spirit to endure, give me the strength to endure, and give me the wisdom to do what I have to do today. So that's my approach. And another thing is I prepare myself for the worst mentally, but then it's not as bad as I imagined. If you could receive that, if I'm making sense. Like at my plantation today, they wanted me to do this task that I've never done before, and I was kind of getting overwhelmed because I'm not gonna back down from a challenge, but it's pretty nerve-wracking. And I was preparing myself, but then they were like, "Oh, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that no more. Like we're gonna pause that project." And I immediately gave thanks to the Lord, hey, Tawada Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because I didn't want to make a fool out of myself, So little things like that, I constantly give thanks unto the Lord, and that's just something I'm sharing, But nonetheless, prepare yourself. Instead of trying to avoid that situation, how I was saying earlier, Salakia, I don't know if it was this lesson, but nonetheless, I saw a lesson with the brother saying we're here to endure, not to escape. And that's heavy, because instead of me trying to talk my way out of that project, I was gonna fuck it, I'm gonna do it. The Lord blessed me with this job, I'm gonna do it. I have no idea how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. And then I was preparing myself, but then they told me oh, you know what, we're gonna pause this project and send me to go do something else. And that was very relieving. I was relieved, and I immediately said, hey, Tawada Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So that's a little example of this precept. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. So I'm just flowing, flowing with the Spirit. Wanted to do a lesson. We gotta be diligent. We gotta keep cranking these lessons out, edifying the flock. So this Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 24. It reads, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? That's another beautiful precept that I'm constantly meditating on. Like I was saying earlier, the way I was brought up and how it humbled me, that was the Lord preordained that path for me. And now I'm in this truth. I'm constantly praying to stay in the straight gate, to stay in the narrow path that leads to salvation. You know, because temptation is gonna come, and we just have to endure and constantly stay in the spirit. Make sure we don't get sifted out of this truth, because the time of great testing is coming, man. Our faith is really about to be tested, and every day you gotta prepare yourself for that. Don't get caught slipping. Don't get caught off guard. Let's get Ephesians chapter 1, verses 4 through 5. It reads, "According as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahawashi Hamashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will." So this precept right here, back to the fact that, you know, the Lord led you to this truth. He woke you up to the truth of this life. That's a beautiful thing, man. And the Lord predestinated you to wake up. But we have to remember, many are called, but few are chosen. Now it's the ball's in our court. We have to do everything in our power to assure that we get chosen, you know. Live a life according to the scriptures. May our ways please the Lord, the Heavenly Father. So that's another reason why we have to always acknowledge the Lord in everything we do. Hey, the angels are watching, the Lord is watching. Yeah, we're in this wicked flesh, we go off, but just snap out of it and just keep pushing forward. So yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing being in this truth. It gives us purpose, it gives us drive, and it gives us comfort. What is that in Isaiah? Wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of those times. So hey, we're in those times, and we got to make sure no man takes our crown, because we're so close to the end, so close to the finish line. So let's get John chapter 15 and verse 16. It reads, "Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you." Yeah, so hey, the Lord chose us. We didn't choose him. The Lord chose us for this truth, and that's very humbling, and that's comforting as well, because the creator of the universe chose you. That's, if you're listening to this and you have this truth and you're putting in work for the Lord, hey, that gives us purpose in this life. You know, there's a lot of people crashing out. There's people that are walking around this life that have no purpose, that don't have this breath of life, and they're just crashing out. Like, no more mirth. There's no mirth in the land. People are getting ready to lose everything. Jacob's trouble, man. Jacob's trouble's here. But we were chosen for this mission. So that's not something to take lightly. So that's, you know, that's the point of this lesson. I was just meditating. Acknowledge the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai in all thy ways, and he shall direct thy path. And I'm always grateful for the path that I was given. I'm constantly thanking the Lord, the Water, Heavenly Father, for the path that was laid before me. And I'm doing everything in my power to make sure I'm chosen. And that's what we should all do. First and foremost, humbly speaking, we don't know if we're chosen, but we got to do everything we can to assure that we're chosen and we make it onto that chariot. So I pray this lesson was edifying. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. On to the next lesson, Shalom.